Alright then, so hey, what is up guys, it's Pohdoh here, and this time I'm going to be talking about the update. It's finally here and it looks amazing. It actually plays amazing, it is actually fun, and I don't feel like quitting anymore. It's been the first time in like a year since I felt like not quitting. But anyways, there's way too much stuff in this update to talk about in one video. To give you perspective, update 2.5.0 didn't have jack shit for content, and it took me like 20 minutes to talk about everything. So this will easily take an hour just to discuss everything. So I'm going to be breaking it down, and this time I'm going to be talking about the class changes. So let's get straight onto it without wasting any time. Healer changes. So far, this is the ones that we can find. Devout Mind from the talent reduced from 50% lower cast time for Divine Light to 30%. Compassion, it reduced from 30% rapid heal buff to 15%. And then it goes from 5, 10, 15 instead of 10, 20, 30%, as you rank up the talents. Influence, this is a basically new spell. It reduced from 15 seconds to 3-second cast time, but now it can affect players and it'll put them to sleep for 3 seconds. Zealot Will, it changed from 10% of mana regen turns into spell crit into 200% of wisdom becomes heal power. So they heal a lot, but then they don't crit very often anymore. And Prayer Pure Fate has been heavily nerfed. It heals like 500 or something really small, and it's really weird right now. I don't know if it's a glitch or whether it's intentional, but regardless, healers are still healers. Phoenix Storm, now it has a normal 1-second global cooldown instead of a 2-second random global cooldown. The mana regen, it's been drastically reduced by like 35 to 40%. Spell crit, it's been dramatically reduced because you don't have Zealot's Will anymore in the talent tree. Heal power, that's been dramatically increased because of Zealot's Will. And restore, there's a huge buff in restore, because of Zealot's Will again. And then now you can pull off, like 3k, 4k restores. It's pretty crazy. And then temperance. It seems pretty bugged right now, and it says there's a 92% mana regen on chance, blah blah blah, but then rather than a 5% regen, but something's weird about it. So that's all the healer changes that we could find so far. Okay then, now for melees, they've been basically completely unchanged. They haven't been nerfed at all because Gameloft loves melees. They would never nerf them. But anyways, there's just been a couple changes. One is that the melee speed bonus only increases your speed by 9% or something way lower. It does not increase your speed by 40% like before, because that was the most fucking broken bonus of all time. That was ridiculously broken. And let's see, I think there was one more. Oh yeah, this pertains to melees, but Phoenix, I think I already said it, but Phoenix Storm has a 1-second cooldown instead of a 2-second cooldown, meaning that you don't have to wait right after Phoenix. You can actually activate the stun yourself. And then let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Melees are perfectly fine and perfectly alive. If you love melees, they're exactly the way you remember them. Okay then, so moving on to the archers. Archers have been significantly buffed. First of all, there's a 20% less vigor cost for all archer spells, and 25% additional. So now it's 45% extra reduction in all vigor costs. A Vulture Shot deals 200% range damage, and that's quite a lot. You do 7 to 8k with it, and it also has a 10-second cooldown instead of a 5-second cooldown. Vulture Shot does not cause a fear condition, it only causes a silence. Rapid Shot deals more percent of damage, and it has a 2-second cooldown instead of a 3-second cooldown. Pin Feed will also decrease the target's armor count by 85%, and then you can basically really rape, tanks now. And Snipe deals a lot more damage. It does like 330% or something like that. You do like 15k, 13k snipes when before you're doing like 10k snipes. And then your cooldown is now 5 seconds. And a small, very, very, very small nerf. It's a shooter stance, deals 2%, heals for 2% every second instead of 3%, but that's nothing. And right now archers are really, really good. Like, they're borderline broken kind of good, especially with the new PvP gear, new PvP bonus. Now for sins. These are all the changes. They completely reworked the class. It is no longer, a class that stays in sneak 90% of the time. It can do very, very real damage, like a shit ton of damage. It's incredible how much damage sins can do now. So anyways, getting on to it, overall they have more damage and less sneak and less stun. Vigor regeneration has been increased from 30% to 50%, so a lot more vigor. I mean, that's a lot if you think about it. Sneak attack From the talents, it is reduced from 50% additional crit chance to 30% additional crit chance. Blink, it reduces the armor count by 70%. Keen Swing increases the swift strike damage by 110% instead of like 50% or something really low. Impale, it reduces the vigor cost by 40% and not 100%. And is activated by a melee hit, not cutthroat. It increases the DPS by 20% and not 30%, but it has a cooldown of 5 fucking seconds. That's really fast. You're gonna be proccing this all the time. Next, Shadow Strike stun out of Sneak is only 4 seconds, and it causes an armor break for another 4 seconds. And then Deep Sneak, it decreases the cooldown by 58%, not 100% I believe, which was the original thing, so there's no more infinite Sneak. You can't stay in Sneak forever. Cutthroat cooldown has been increased to 10 seconds. And then Stab, it always deals offhand damage, not just when they're stunned, so that's a lot more damage if you think about it, especially in dungeons. Escape, it does 50% extra movement instead of like 80% or something a lot higher before. Contract, it resets all the cooldown of Smoke, Cut, Blink instantly, and then Smoke is now a 60-second cooldown. Overall, I'm really liking Sins right now. They're a lot more fun to play. And I mean, look at the numbers here. Like, what the fuck? Like, just like, look how much damage they're doing now. It's incredible. So anyways, moving on to the next class. Oh, and one more minor thing is that, let's see, Escape, Smoke Bomb, and Contract do not cost any vigor now. Maybe missing a few skills here and there, but for the most part, a lot of your essential basic ranger skills do not cost any more vigor, which is really nice because that kind of messed up a lot of your combos in the past. Alright then, so moving on to the mage changes, and they got nerfed pretty badly. Anyways, first of all, Flame Revenge. It's been switched places with Wind Waker, so now it only activates whenever you cast Elemental Finishing, and it lasts for 20 seconds, which sucks balls. So anyways, then there's Elemental Phantom. Frost spells now activate Frost Phantom, and Fire spells activate Fire Phantom. And Frost Phantom, it's been nerfed, so that it only does... It's been nerfed, it does less damage overall. It does like 20% extra frost damage instead of 50% extra frost damage, which also really sucks. Wind Waker, whenever you are hit, you have a chance to increase your speed by 60%. There's like a 60% chance to activate it. Whenever you hit it, it has a 20-second cooldown, and it pretty much acts like a free will. It frees you a silent, stun, and freeze instantly. And then for Ice Master, there's no more freeze or stun bonus anymore. Ice spells do 30% more damage and 50% more critical damage. And then Neve, it's been nerfed, so that only increases your casting time by like 24%. Stone Spike, it's also been buffed in a way, and now it causes a slow condition and reduces attack speed. Whenever it activates, and it doesn't stun anymore. Cyclone, it regenerates 60% of your mana at max, upgrade. And then for the spell changes, Frost Blast, the range has been decreased. The freeze has been increased to 6 seconds, but then the cooldown has been increased to 40 fucking seconds. Permafrost, its slow has been decreased. The slow effect has been decreased from 80% to 40%, but now it deals more damage. Ice Meteor, its cast time has been slightly decreased and now causes a 25% slow instead of a 40% slow. Frost Blast, the cast time has been increased and now it only causes a 15% slow. Flamestorm, it's been nerfed as well, so now it does 50% additional damage instead of 30% additional damage. Blaze Prison, it has been buffed, it is now an instacast. Frozen Mind, the cooldown has been increased to 120 seconds, and Sleep, the cooldown has been increased to 45 seconds. That is a shit ton of nerfs, and I guess I should have seen this coming, but oh well, I'll find a way how to make it work. Okay then, so now for the warrior changes. Let's see. Oh yeah, for DPS warriors, their decapitation got massively buffed, and it does about 50% more damage. There's been reportings that DPS warriors who used to do like 10k decapitations, 10k decaps are now doing like 15k or 14k decaps. So it's about a 50% increase, which is really nice because now DPS warriors are all over the place. And then also You also regenerate some morale if you decapitate when your target's under 25% health. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I've been hearing rumors that Fury Smite or some of the other skills have been buffed, but you know, nothing really confirmed. Now for the tanks. The tanks got nerfed for the most part, but then they got a cool new toy which I'll talk about. First of all, their slap. It's been nerfed for the most part. It's now a 10-second shield slap cooldown, so it's no longer 5 seconds. And then also, the courage has been nerfed, so it's a 150-second cooldown now, and also heals only 40% health now, which kind of sucks. But I mean, what can we do about it? And then they also got their mastery nerf, so now they take more physical damage overall, so they're not completely invincible to melee DPS now. But here is, oh yeah, and also block value has been nerfed. So now shield slap does a lot less damage, like 30, 20, 30, 40% less damage now. Or at least that's what a lot of the tanks are reporting. Now here comes the fun part. You do not see this in the skill description, but shield slap stuns for 6 goddamn seconds now. This, I didn't really notice it until I started paying attention and started fighting other tanks. Their slaps stun you for 6 goddamn seconds. So I mean, you can see it as a nerf or a buff depending on how you see it, because this absolutely massacres heal and destroys, you know, some other classes. You know, a 6-second, you know, slap. But regardless, whatever you think, that's all the changes for the tanks for the most part, unless I missed something. So now for the credits for the people who helped me out. You may recognize some of these names. I'm pretty sure you will if you know anything about Order and Chaos on YouTube. So anyways, there's Driz, there's Alpher from Carnage, who helped me, you know, find out all the Sin changes. There's alltheheals from Notorious, who helped me find all the Monk changes. There's mrbestapp, Michael, who helped me find all the Archer changes. And there's iOS speedfreak and iOS speedfreak from Control Alt Delete, and Wichita Max from Levels, who helped me find all the changes for Warriors. And if I miss anything, I'm sorry guys, but you know, I mean, like, I had basically like an hour to find every single nook and cranny in the game. So anyways, that ends part 1. This is all the class changes. I'm sorry the video is a little long, but you know, there's just been a lot of changes. So expect part 2 and 3 and God knows how many parts in the future. You know, very shortly, as I try my best to extrapolate every little piece of information from this update. So anyways, this is Pohdoh here, and I'll catch you guys later. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.